Okay, so I would say that I come from, first and foremost, a theatre background. So I trained in physical theatre, but I also did an academic degree. So I come from a kind of in-between space anyway. And um, when I did the physical drama course in Paris at the Jacques Lecoq School, I also did an evening course there, which was called the Laboratory of Movement Study, which was about sonography, theatre sonography, but run by an architect and Lecoq himself, who was very much into physical theatre. So it was about gesture and architecture and building space. And having come from having done an academic undergraduate degree, this was like it was like a breath of fresh air. So I was thinking with my body, totally out of my head, but maybe revolving around some of the same concepts. And I love this kind of jump from the academic to the kind of thinking conceptually, but also really physically. So really in my body. And I think that's just informed a lot of the work I've made since and been interested in. So I would say now that forms I'm most interested in are kind of these hybrid in between forms, and I'm getting more and more um, interested and maybe bolder about wanting to use all these forms at the same time. I don't even know if that answered your question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really
it's
the
really the
answer.
answer.
So
So
this
this
whole
whole
pandemic
pandemic
experience,
experience,
the isolation in a
isolation in a
way, how
way,
did it
how did it
influence your
influence your
lifestyle and
lifestyle and
also your
also your
creation?
creation?
Yeah, so I think so I have two small primary school age children, so two girls who are 7 and 9. So in the first, so in Britain, we've had over the last year, so the kind of the length of the pandemic, we've had three lockdowns, so three kind of extended periods of having to stay at home. And in two of those, the children couldn't go to school at all. So in the first one, I think I just dropped everything. And it was strange to all. I think everyone was in shock. You know, no one believed it was that serious and we needed to respond that quickly. I don't think. So um, the first lockdown in 2020, it's kind of March 2020, I just stopped doing everything and, well, not stopped being a mum and looking after the children, thinking about their schooling. But, and in a way that felt really important because everything was kind of thrown into perspective. So um, uh, things became important that maybe we hadn't considered before. And I feel that life really, my life anyway, really slowed down, and that was wonderful. And then over the last year, I think, and I think maybe this is the same for lots of people, I've kind of just been reassessing my priorities and what's important to me and what I want to make. And I've come out, not that we're out of this, but it feels like we're moving forward. I feel like I just want to spend more time being creative in ways that I want, if that makes sense.
It
So
really
It
yeah,
does.
really does.
okay, good.
And now,
And now,
tell us
tell us
a bit
a
more
bit
about
more
your
about your
feeling about
feeling about
this
this
online
online
residency
residency
experience. It's
experience.
really
It's really
something new to
something new to
all of
all
us.
of us.
And
And
what would
what
your
would
project
your
be
project be
about?
about?
So the online thing is really interesting. So in many ways, so I teach at university, and in many ways, I'm so sick of Zoom, like all of us, you know, of interacting online, because you have to get used to it. It's a different kind of exhausting. But for me, why this online residency is brilliant is because as a mum of children this age, I can't just go away for a month and leave them. I have a partner who works full time, so I couldn't leave. And although I really want to, especially at the moment, I couldn't go and actually live in Belgrade for a month right now in my life. So to me, this is an amazing, unique opportunity uh, as a mother and artist. So it's really opened doors. And the fact that in our sessions, we've got Claire in the Philippines. We've got, I'm going to go absolutely blank now. We've got Anne in Minnesota. We've got Veronica in Canada. We've got Sarah in Missouri. We've got Ali in Glasgow, all over, and of course Alexander in Russia. It's such a
Russia, yeah.
great. It's just such a great. Even just getting our heads around different time zones we're in. And sharing our very different ways of working has just been really, really fantastic, and it feels really supportive and inspiring. So yeah, feeling very positive about it. In terms of the work I'm making, I've been experimenting with lots of little things, but um, I think what I'm coming round to making as my final piece, although I think I might have a few little other things, but I think my final thing will be a very slow, simple video while I read some writing that I've written specifically for this. So I became obsessed by your door, or the door of the Belgrade Art Studio, and that really got me thinking about, because you sent a photo of the door, and it just got me thinking about really when you just really imagine being somewhere and you can't be there, and it's somewhere you've never been, so you can only you can only project yourself there, and what happens when we do that, um, that kind of otherworldly, other dimensional thing where in many ways I've now imagined being opposite that door so much, but I've never actually touched it, and I'm kind of playing with that idea, but also with the idea of the artist on standby and what it means to be on standby. So I really like that play between being on standby, like being ready, being totally ready to do something, being full of anticipation and expectation, but also the idea of standing by as a witness. Um, and at the moment, right now, the situation in India just is appalling. In Brazil, it looks terrible. In large parts of Africa, and all we can do right now is stand by and watch, um, which just it feels really difficult, I think. And there's that tension there, and of course there's the standing bys, and we have to stand, we can't all embrace each other even if we want to, we just have to stand beside each other. So I love that play of all the things, so I hope to touch on all of that in what I'm trying to do, but we'll see.
Thank you. And one more question. Thinking about future, after being in standby for quite a long time, thinking about tomorrow, let's say, any plans?
No, I mean, I hope to keep in touch with everyone from the residency. That feels really important. And maybe just a sense of possibility and hope that maybe some of the things that the pandemic has brought up might mean that we change stuff for the good, for the better.
I hope so.
Me
Thank you
too.
so much, Emily.
Okay.